10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Warm welcome to ZERON, Chapter 2, the Epitome of the Digital Ecosystem. After the success of Chapter 1, we are thrilled to have you back for another extraordinary chapter dedicated to the serious cybersecurity professionals. Today, we celebrate not just the technology, but the brilliance and resilience of each one of us who stands as the unrivaled cornerstone in safeguarding our digital space. This isn't just an event, it's a celebration of us. So fasten your virtual seatbelts because today we learn, we laugh, and we celebrate cybersecurity together.
Hi everyone. So today we are going to release a very highly confidential document which has our groundbreaking algorithm in place, which has been developed by our own R&D team after years of research. Okay. Now this document should not be leaked out in any way, should not be made public. Right. So now I'm going to discuss about this algorithm that we have made, which is going to influence the market as a whole. So the algorithm is, imagine your greatest fear becoming a reality. The potential market disruption as well as the financial losses would be huge. So we are here today not just to celebrate but also to honor the brilliant minds behind the digital shades, the unsung heroes of our nation, the cybersecurity professionals. Keeping this celebratory and innovation spirit in mind, we have come up with an absolutely electrifying hackathon lined up for you. But wait, this is not just a mere hackathon. The participants for this hackathon would embark on a journey towards groundbreaking opportunities. What are those opportunities, you may ask? The opportunities is to work with us at a global level, wherein we are building and shaping up the future of cybersecurity. So this is to all the unsung heroes of our nation to come and join us at Zornado, wherein we would be hosting this hackathon as well, along with a ton of other events as well. Registrations are open till 4:30 p.m. today. So hurry up guys and everyone as well. Do join us wherein we are trying to revolutionize this cybersecurity game. And so see you all at Zornado event. Thank you.
Hello everyone, welcome to Ground Zero, the most awaited event of ZERON 1 Chapter 2, a forum where innovation converges insight, expertise converges with experience. I am Soham Mitra, the Customer Experience Manager at ZERON, and it's an absolute pleasure to stand before you as the moderator for today's panel discussion. In the dynamic landscape of digital ecosystem, where every keystroke transaction and interaction carries significance, our discussion today centers around the epitome of digital ecosystem. This topic encapsulates the essence of our interconnected world, where technology intertwines seamlessly with our daily lives, shaping industries, reshaping economies, and challenging conventional norms. I hereby welcome our distinguished panelists, Dr. Lopamudra Basu, who is a pioneer in cybersecurity with 20 plus years of experience in the industry, Dr. Santosh Iyer, Associate Director of Herbinger Group, and Mr. Sanket Sarkar, founder of ZERON, each an expert in their respective domains, will navigate through intricacies of the digital ecosystem, dissecting its challenges, unraveling its potentials and exploring the path forward in an era defined by technological leaps. So, as we delve into the heart of our digital excellence, we invite you to embark on a journey of knowledge, exchange, and discovery. Today's panel discussion is not merely a conversation, it's a collective exploration of ideas that transcends boundaries, disrupt norms, and redefine possibilities. So, without further ado, let's commence our expedition into the epitome of digital ecosystem. May our insights resonate, our discussions enlighten, and our collective understanding propel us to new horizons. So, I thank you all again and let the conversation begin. Okay, so first of all, welcome everyone once again. My first question would be to Dr. Lopamudra Basu with respect to the emergence of cyber threats and like given the evolving nature of cyber threats, what trends or specific threats do you believe pose the most significant risks to the digital ecosystem? Over to you, Dr. Basu.
Namaskar. Uh, Thank you, Soham. This is a very relevant question considering the current digital ecosystem. So when we look at the current digital ecosystem, there are several kind of cyber threat continuously emerging. The most importantly, I would say the ignorance related to end user, which is utilized by the attacker using the phishing and phishing attack. That is a kind of attack scenario considerably increasing across the globe, and irrespective of age or background, people are getting trapped on that. Secondly, huge adoption of new generation technology without proper due diligence, proper risk assessment, actually imposing a huge threat uh, of compromise. Generative AI or automation, normal automation also having lots of kind of threat, but they are also imposing threat. The reason is the dual-edged sword can be utilized by the cyber security professional as well as the cyber attacker. So we need to use them very effectively by understanding the pros and cons. I would say another challenge is IoT and OT related cyber attack. Cyber resilience, building a cyber resilience is very effective. Then cyber attack surface monitoring, a partly monitoring also imposing a huge risk. There is a lots of compliance need today, and people are running behind the compliance, which may sometime ignore the actual security, because if you have a proper security implementation is place, you are automatically landing to the compliance. So if it is not in that way and it is on other way, that is people are trying to comply with without understanding the need of the security control specifically related to that area, that may again impose the green paper threat. And over and above, the resource crunch, properly proper resource pool is not available in industry. If we look at the top level or a ground level, right across this entire ladder, the resource crunch is there. And when you don't, organization may have the required pool of people, but if they don't have the proper skill set, then it is a big threat for the organization.
Thank you very much, Dr. Basu, for the detailed insights. Yeah, right now I would like to move on to Dr. Iyer and ask him his views regarding the same question or the same topic. Yeah, over to you, Dr. Iyer.
Well, good evening, everybody, and thank you, ZERON team, for this opportunity. It's very seldom that you have a person from a capability development or an HR-related domain being invited into a cybersecurity panel, right? And I would like to thank Sanket and, of course, all of you for this opportunity. And at times, it's always, I know, it's a little difficult after you ask to contribute to an idea when an expert who is quite a well-known in the name of cybersecurity, Dr. Lok Mudra, has spoken. So she's actually touched upon most of the evolving threats there. But I would like to second her on what she said about what I feel, in my opinion, the two biggest threats, or the trends or whatever is one is the ignorance of all of us so-called learned users, right? Sometimes too much of knowledge is also a little bit of a problem. And because of which ignorance is going to be one of the biggest threats. Ignorance about when to use the technology, ignorance about why do I need to use a particular technology. Now, for example, the AI, everybody wants to jump onto the AI bandwagon, but not everything needs AI, right? And for me, one of the biggest threats that I think is about the deep fakes. We are all seeing that, right? And deep fakes can go ahead and actually pose a threat to both, to the internal employee, as well as, to the organization, as well as, to the person in question, right? An organization, how is the organization going to actually determine whether the person on the call is actually their employee and not a deep fake, right? So one of the major trends that I foresee is about identifying deep face. And as Dr. Basu said, AI is a double-edged sword. Yeah, but unfortunately, the sharper end is at our side.
Thank you, Dr. Iyer, for the insights once again. And so I'd like to go on to Sanket. So, Mr. Sanket, like, what are your views after you second the thoughts of Dr. Iyer and Dr. Basu? Over to you.
Hi everyone, and thank you, Shoham, for putting up this question first of all, right? Because it is very essential for us to understand where do we stand in the digital landscape right now. When we talk about technological innovation and all, we might debate a lot on this, but one thing that we need to accept is there's no more fight that we need to do with respect to are we behind, is technology ahead, behind, and all this. We are in a scenario where we are engulfed within technology, from getting up in the morning to going back at night to sleep. Everywhere it's there, right? And everything that we do is a potential part from a hacker's perspective to get into our lives. So it is very important for us to get aware in this scenario of what is that thing that we want to safeguard for ourselves. I'll like last week I was in a conference and we were having this discussion with few of the industry people. Soham, if I ask you, I want your Aadhaar card, right? And second moment I ask you, I want to see your WhatsApp. Which one would make you fear more?
Like,
be true to yourself at
the
least.
Aadhaar card. Yeah, Aadhaar card, obviously.
So you are willing to give me and show it to everyone in the live session right now, your WhatsApp chats, is it?
No, not now.
Are you willing to show your Aadhaar card?
Yes, maybe, like, if it's required.
That's where we are going wrong, right? So that's something that we really need to take care of ourselves, because DPDP is coming in, right? And people are thinking it would change a lot, but as human beings, if we do not change, it's not going to change. So that is something that we need to bring on a consciousness in ourselves. We need to know what's that thing that we need to protect for ourselves. And whatever technology we put in, if we do not know where the risk lies, it's not going to work in any way. I often have this saying, because I come from a background where I was an ethical hacker and have been in this hacking world for the last 10 years. There's one very significant difference between hackers and cybersecurity professionals. It's not about the technical technologies, it's not about the tools. Whatever is available to the cybersecurity professionals, also available to the hackers. You need to protect 100 out of 100 times if you're on the cybersecurity side. If I'm a hacker, I just need to succeed once out of 100 times. I do not have the fear of losing out anything. Whereas on the cybersecurity part, if you lose once, entire thing is gone. Right. So that cat and mouse race, people often tell that with the invention of AI and all of these, we are going to do a lot of things. But as the co-panelists rightly mentioned, it's a double-edged sword. If cybersecurity professionals have the power of AI, the hackers also have the power of AI. So they are going to use it to the extent that can come in. I'll share a example of usage of this particular thing using ChatGPT. So a few days back, me and the R&D team, we were trying to find out malware. We were trying to make a malware with ChatGPT. Now, initially it was easy, but ChatGPT said it's not going to give us. So what we did was we converted that to a language which is not registered as one of the national languages and does not fall under the I do not exactly remember the ISO number, but for a particular standard of languages, right? So it was a language not known to many people. We used that and put it in ChatGPT. ChatGPT actually gave us the malware, right? So that's some of the ways that we can use it, right? This is something that we came up with, and this is one of the many things that can be done. So with the evolving thing, it's always a thing of how much healthy you can be from an organization or enterprise standpoint, because it doesn't matter however whatever you do, you are either hacked or you will be hacked. So what matters is if you go down, how fast can you come back? So it's what's going to make the difference.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sanket, for the detailed explanation. And that brings me to my next question for Dr. Santosh Iyer in the realm of the role of cybersecurity. Okay. So, Dr. Iyer, how crucial do you feel is the role of cybersecurity in preserving the integrity and functionality of the digital ecosystem? And how has this importance evolved over time?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah. Thank you again, Soham, for the question. It's a very, very, although, it's a question that much often asked, right? But it still needs to be asked because over a period of time, definitely, without any doubt, without questions, right? The role of cybersecurity has definitely evolved, and it's become very important, right? The very fact that earlier you did not have any statute, you did not have laws, you did not have protection legally, right? It was all based upon I would not say whims and fancies, but I would say the individual policies or the individual decisions of the organizations or for the fraternity as such, right? It was more like what you say. It was more like something that is forthcoming, or if somebody wants to be forthcoming, they used to go ahead and share things, and we used to think about, okay, we have to save our networks or save our digital ecosystem. But now, to preserve the integrity of the digital ecosystem, right? Cybersecurity definitely is a very, very important thing. And now so when it says cybersecurity, it's not just about tools, it's also about the people. It's also about the ecosystem, as we said. And ecosystem doesn't only mean digital. When 90% of the time when we say digital ecosystem, we always think about machines, we always think about apps, we always think about tools. But we forget about the most important, the most important piece in this whole jigsaw puzzle is the humans, you and me, right? So we have to also ensure that we've got that on the top of our minds, right? Because end of the day, no matter what best tools are done, as Sanket rightly said in his previous answer to the previous question, that the tools are at the behest of both the attacker as well as the defender. It's all about how much importance you give to your skills and how to use those tools that will ensure the integrity of your digital ecosystem.
Thank you, Dr. Iyer. That was really insightful. So I'd just like to move on to Dr. Lopamudra Basu to share her insights on the same question. Yeah. Over to you, Dr. Basu.
Shom, when we talk about the integrity, right, or the protection, so today cybersecurity is the critical and core component of ecosystem. If it is a digital ecosystem or any connected ecosystem, without cybersecurity, we cannot think about it, because it is not only protecting the data, it is also protecting the critical infrastructure. So generally we talk about the critical infrastructure and data, but think about the infrastructure which is not considered as critical, but still business is going on through that infrastructure. So you need a protection there also. So considering all this, do you think you or anybody is going to launch an application without considering the cybersecurity? Today, the question is that, how we will invest if it is a small size organization or mid size organization. Is it worth of investing on cybersecurity? The answer is yes. For the small size and mid size business, it is more important. The reason is, when it is a big size organization, they have a tolerance levels. They have a appetite to accept the risks and bounce back if there is any attack, recover from that attack quickly. But for the mid-size or small-size business, it is quite impossible in some cases. We have experience in past also. So when we do, do any business, or when anybody conduct any business, knowingly and unknowingly, first thing, what is coming to our mind? Actually, they conduct a business risk assessment, investment risk assessment, financial risk assessment, operational risk assessment. Sometimes maybe in a very organized way, sometimes it is in an unorganized way. I think nowadays it is important to incorporate cybersecurity to ensure that the entire investment you are doing, or kind of for the big organization, the kind of brand they have built from day one, and uh, they have put lots of efforts to build it. So to protect it, to protect their customer interest, to protect their business interest, this is very important. Now, question is what kind of technology they are using, in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is an end-to-end technology stack. Security itself is a technology stack. So we need to see that what kind of technology stack this business is using, what kind of data they are actually processing. Based on that, we need to align that. So it's a very, very core component to protect the infrastructure, data, and your client.
Thank you very much, Dr. Basu, for the detailed answer. And right now, I'd like to quickly move on to Sanket, and I would ask Mr. Sanket to shed some light on his views on the same topic. Over to you, Mr. Sanket.
Yep. Thank you, Shom, once again. So when we talk about integrity and cybersecurity, right, it had been, it will, is right now, and it will always be one of the integral part. When you talk about integrity, it's an integral part of cybersecurity. It's ever going to be like that. It can never be put out of the context of cybersecurity. It's not right now. It was there before. It was one of the most important part. It is there right now. It would be there in the future as well. Right. So nothing much to say on this. Dr. Iyer and Dr. Mutra has already put their views on it. I'm on the same lines. So, yep, it is, and it would be.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Mr. Sanket. So, as you rightly mentioned, like, so we have the own CIA triad in cybersecurity, where integrity is indeed an integral part for the organizations and the enterprises out there in the industry. So that brings me to my next question to Mr. Sanket with respect to the impact of cybersecurity awareness. So we often hear about the importance of cybersecurity awareness. In your opinion, how does increased awareness contribute to fortifying the digital landscape? Over to you, Mr. Sandeep.
Yeah. See, I have a very bad way of representing things, right? But one thing that I make sure it would stay in people's mind. Do you remember when we were facing the heat of COVID-19 across the world? Everyone was aware, right? We need to wear masks.
Yes.
We need to sanitize our hands. But what was one thing that was triggering us when we were seeing how many people are getting affected, their lives are getting lost? That was the trigger point for us to safeguard ourselves, not actually the thing that we should be doing this. And it is, we were all aware. But what was working was the FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty, and so however awareness you spread, until unless someone gets affected, it doesn't come into the picture, right? So awareness is something that's always needed. I won't deny that. But along with that, if they have a visibility of what can happen to them, is something that they would start taking steps. Is my 2 cents on that.
Thank you, Mr. Sanket. So over to you, Dr. Ayer, for sharing your thoughts on this.
Yeah, right. Thank you. And definitely, awareness is important. And as Sanket rightly said, during the COVID initial period, not just the initial stages, after the first phase was over, right? We were all aware, and we also were aware about FUD, what he said, the fear of the uncertainty and death. Yet we let down our guards a little bit during the second wave, right? Thinking it won't happen to me. I am aware, I am following things, but it won't happen to me, right? That assumption and letting down your guard, right, is definitely something that should not happen. So, awareness increases your knowledge, awareness increases, it lets you know about the pitfalls that can come in and how you can safeguard it. So, it definitely leads to increased awareness, definitely leads to increased fortification of your defenses, right? But it's just not fortifying the defenses that are important, right? I go ahead, I fortify myself, right? I put everything around, and the only thing that is, I kept myself in my home. I mean, again, continuing with what his uh, with his example again, right? That I went ahead. I used mask, sab kuch kiya. I went out, right? And I don't know whether the other person was a COVID, but he happened to be a family member. I let down my guards. I'm fortified myself. Mask pehna hai, sab pehna hai, haath mila liya. I mean, sorry, I shifted into Hindi. Really apologies. I went and shook hands, right? So one small slip, my defenses are fortified. I've taken everything, washed my hands, any sanitizers. I've been, breathing in sanitizers, etc. But having said that, one small glimpse and I have lost it. Right. So basically, increased awareness leads to increased fortification of the defenses. But what matters is knowing that even though your defenses are fortified, you still have to not let your guards down and be awake and aware at all times.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ayer. So yeah, it's like each and every minute step you have to keep in mind, right? So now over to you, Dr. Lopamudra Basu, for sharing your insights on the same.
So I will second both Sanket and Dr. Iyer. Here, I would like to highlight one thing is when we design security, the most critical pillar of security is the human being, right? It could be a strongest link of your security, or it could be a other way, that is the weakest link of your security. Now, most of the cases, if we look at the practically at this entire digital connected ecosystem, it is enterprise, government, and public. And they are connecting with each other in many ways. And today, nobody can demand that, yes, I am completely out of this digital ecosystem. Knowingly, unknowingly, we are using that. Now, enterprise designing the security system, government designing the security system, but the challenge is the end user. I'm not denying and telling that the people working within our enterprise and government, they are completely aware. There is a major gap, but what I'm trying to say that gap is in other side also. To build a cyber resilient ecosystem, this awareness needs to be raised at every level. Now, let's look at the organization. It could be any kind of organization performing a awareness program for sake of compliance once in a year, or when employee join and then throwing that after a year is not going to work anymore. You need to raise the awareness at every level: generic awareness, role specific awareness, And if somebody in development or specifically in security designing, what kind of hygiene they need to follow, that is very important. In other way, who are going to use our system, that's the end user. We need to raise that awareness, because India is a very first adopter of technology. You can see that where we are when it is coming to the digitization of financial sector, India is much more faster than any other part of the country. We can go to the village, and a person who may not be able to read or write properly, but still using the online ecosystem to make the payment. So considering all this, we need to raise that awareness at all level. It's a most of the cases, people are trapped who are maybe ignorant, much ignorant. They're losing their money, and there are it is not money only, there are lots of other area. I'm just giving example. When we go and purchase a car, we talk about what is the fuel consumption, what is the mileage I'm going to get, what is the interior, everything. How many of us is asking what is the score of stress testing of the car? Forget about the cybersecurity stress testing, which is very important, because you are sitting inside the car, and if touch it, something happen, that stress test score is very important for your car. Same way, we need to educate. I think first thing we need to do is educating our children. That is very important. Today, children are using the cell phone and the system left and right. It's very important to protect our upcoming generation, to keep ourselves as a strong nation, digital equal, to maintain the digital equality. We need to protect them. So we need to train them first as a part of curriculum. And while doing that, first thing, very importantly, our teachers needs to be trained in the primary school, in the high school. Then it is coming the parents needs to be trained on that part. Our senior citizen needs to be trained on that, so they can save themselves. Then obviously the end to end people in the ecosystem. So we as a an enterprise, as a government entity, what we implement, we need to ensure there is a strong ecosystem parallelly we are building, by making the end user, by making our people aware, to build us as a cyber safe country.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Basu. I completely agree with all of you on this. So it's like, along with the awareness, it's more also about the actions, because in the end, it's action that speaks louder than the words, right? So here, right now, I would like to conclude this panel discussion with the last and final question in the sphere of collaboration in cybersecurity. So it is an open-ended question, and anyone can choose to answer first. So here it goes. As we all agree to some extent, cybersecurity is a shared responsibility. So how can different entities within the digital ecosystem collaborate effectively to enhance overall cybersecurity posture?
So here, Shubham, I would like to address this. Uh, Collaboration is the key to build a cyber safe ecosystem. There is no second thought on that. Today, problem is people are not collaborating. So it's like if there is a where every every segment of defense needs to collaborate, and cybersecurity is something which is continuous defense, right? Continuously protecting your data, your infrastructure. So we need to collaborate. There is no second thought. First of all, when we are collaborating as a organization, we need to know the clear business territory, that is our virtual business territory, apart from our physical business territory. We need to know what kind of technology stack we have, and more importantly, our crown jewel. So where they are sitting. Next is how we are connecting with our partner, with our client, and with our other support provider. Once we have that clarity, it is a mutual responsibility, each of us. Today, most importantly, we are trying to say that, hey, it's their responsibility, this part is my responsibility. That's not true. It's our joint responsibility to protect that. So we need to understand that how much I can do and what my partner can do, and we need to create a channel to enhance that collaboration. When it is coming to the collaboration, most importantly, we need to remember cybersecurity and the IT nowhere going to own any data or infrastructure. We are the custodian to protect that. Once we understand that truth, then we can go back to the actual owner, that is the business or the people owning the data or infrastructure, make them aware, give them the awareness about that, what are the risks associated with. They may not understand the risks of, if we talk about malware attack, all this business, it's not possible for them to calculate the risks. If we are going to talk about the operational, we can translate it to the operational risks, financial risks, reputational risks, it will be easy and they will start collaborating with us. Also, we need, while doing so, with the third party, with a support provider, we need to have a proper agreement in place to channelize the things, because we are working in a world which is a regulatory driven world, right? And we need to have proper thing. Now, most importantly, I think when we are talking about the cyber resilience, right, it is a complete collaboration, and we need to have a proper agreement, proper documentation ready with the required parties. So in case of an incident or something, we are able to channelize the things and we can make them up and running with a single trigger. So it is very important to collaborate, but we need to also understand the limit. The organization have their limit to disclose something. Government has their limit to disclose something. We should respect that limit with each other and see how we can enhance the collaboration.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vasu, for the detailed insights once again. So I'd like to quickly move on to Dr. Iyer. And as we are almost at the end of this panel discussion, so I'd just like you to share a few words on the same
Yeah.
topic. Please,
Yeah.
over to you. Dr.
Thank you. So, yes, and in the interest of time, I do understand. So simple. The answer is simple. It lies in the question itself, right? Security is never an individualistic action. I alone can't save myself. I need the support of at least one other person, right? With whom I can collaborate, with whom I share the data, I share techniques. So simple as that. All the people involved in the digital ecosystem, especially in the cyber, people involved with securing the cyber perimeter, right? The most important thing in collaboration is sharing information about your threats, sharing information of what you have done, right? Although I understand to maintain a competitive advantage, you may not do that, but then considering everybody else's, security, or considering everybody else's well-being, information exchange is the most important thing which everybody in the ecosystem can do as collaboration.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Iyer. So thanks again, the panelists. So as we draw the curtains on this captivating panel discussion, Ground Zero, within the realm of our 01 annual event, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for being a part of this insightful journey. Our discussions today have illuminated the intricate facets of the digital ecosystem, from the nuances of cybersecurity to transformative potential of emerging technologies. It has been a celebration of knowledge, innovation, and collective commitment. So, in closing, let us carry forward the spirit of today's dialogue, an unwavering dedication to staying at the forefront of digital excellence. Thank you to our distinguished panelists for sharing the expertise, our audience for engaging participation, and to Xeron's 01 for providing the platform for this enriching conversation. So, here's to continued exploration, collaboration, and excellence in the digital era. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
welcome you all to the Zero Hour, where we dive deep into the pressing concerns of cybersecurity within organizations. A nuanced web of concerns, ranging from stringent compliance requirements to the intricacies of managing cyber risks and more. I will present a set of 3 problem statements for all of us to get started with the Zero Hour. My first problem statement is, the lack of methodologies of quantifying cyber risks within an organization hinders decision makers, impeding their ability to conduct effective risk assessment and implement mitigation strategies. My next problem statement is, organizations endure the challenge of efficiently meeting regulatory requirements and preparing for audits, in tasks that are labor-intensive and time-consuming. And my last problem statement would be, organizations encounter obstacles in ensuring strong endpoint security, contending with challenges of securing their critical assets. As we dive into the industry challenges, the room remains open for discussions at this hour, because when it comes to risks, security matters.
As a human being, how can I express myself totally and completely? Now, that way, you won't create a style, because style is a crystallization, and in that way, it's a process of continuing growth.
Yo, gather round, let me tell you a tale about the cyber world and how it sets in. Back in the days, it was all so sweet. Nobody's online, just a virtual street. But as we serve the web in the digital sea, dark forces emerge, hacking ferociously. Safekeeping our data, truth is piracy. Still, don't you need cybersecurity? Brought us to a brand new frontier. Digital transformation, innovation sincere. Data flowing freely, but danger was near. Identities at risk, a tale of caution clear. In the early days, like Kevin Mitnick's rise, small hacks evolving, self-retained digital price. From whispers in code to a cyber sex agents to back off the game. Flip in the page. Begin the deepest line, a storm in the night. Entity shaken, defenses in fright. Causing compromise, knowledge but exposed. In the cyber realm, where no secrets enclosed. Enterprises converge in a digital quest. Navigating networks, putting skills to the test. Digital intrusions, a covert expedition. In the heart of network sparking tech competition.
I hope you liked the rap. This was our way of expressing ourselves in the world of cybersecurity. Now, since we're all charged up, let's just channelize our energy. We bring to you a quiz based on cybersecurity. So be a zinner and win exciting rewards. Put down your answers in the comment section below. All the very best. The first question is, what is the primary goal of a zero-day exploit in cyber attacks? Is it A, exploiting vulnerabilities on the day they are discovered. B. Utilizing known vulnerabilities for maximum impact. C. Taking advantage of software flaws before they are publicly disclosed or patched. Or is it D. Conducting attacks at 0 seconds notice? The second question is, in the context of MITRE attack, what does the acronym TTP stand for? Is it A. Threat Targeted Processes? Is it B. Tactics, Techniques and Procedures? Is it C. Targeted Threat Prevention? Or is it D. Technical Threat Protocols? The third question is, what type of hacking involves manipulating human behavior to gain unauthorized access to systems or information? Is it A. Social engineering? Is it B. Zero-day exploitation? Is it C. Blue teaming? Or is it D. Cross-site scripting? The fourth question is, what MITRE attack tactic involves actions to avoid detection or attribution? Is it A. Defense evasion? Is it B. Initial access? Is it C. Execution? Or is it D. Discovery? The fifth question is, in the context of zero-day attacks, what is the significance of a day zero event? Is it A. The day an attack is discovered? Is it B. The day an attack is executed? Is it C. The day a vulnerability is disclosed or exploited before a patch is available? Or is it D. The day an attack is publicly disclosed? The sixth question is, which MITRE attack technique involves an attacker exploiting a weakness in software applications to gain control of the affected system? Is it A. Credential access? Is it B. Execution? C. Initial access? Or D. Privilege escalation? The seventh question is, what type of hacking involves infiltrating a system with the permission of the owner to identify vulnerabilities? Is it A. White hat hacking? Is it B. Black hat hacking? Is it C. Grey hat hacking? Or is it D. Red hat hacking? The eighth question is, which MITRE attack tactic involves the use of techniques to gather information about the target environment? Is it A. Discovery? B. Defense evasion? C. Persistence? Or D. Collection? The ninth question is, what is the primary objective of a blue team in cybersecurity operations? Is it A. Simulating real-world cyber attacks? Is it B. Identifying and fixing vulnerabilities in a system? C. Defending against and preventing cyber threats? Or is it D. Creating new attack techniques? The last question of the day. In the context of zero-day attacks, what is the significance of exploit kits? A. Software tools used to develop zero-day exploits. B. Pre-packaged set of attack techniques targeting known vulnerabilities. C. Tools used by defenders to identify zero-day vulnerabilities. Or is it D. Platforms for coordinating ethical hacking activities? I hope you jotted down your answers in the comment section below. Thank you.
Bhumika, Product Coordinator at ZERON. As we are moving towards the end of 01/2023, we all know that data is the oil, and therefore the need to protect it becomes equally important. Let's dive in the next section and understand the importance, the patterns and the trajectory of the data and the importance of cybersecurity in today's world. Thank you.
Discover Gartner's latest report outlining a clear 5-step plan to manage threats continuously. Learn essential cybersecurity strategies to defend against changing threats. Watch now for practical tips and stay ahead in keeping your digital space safe. The graph above illustrates what makes cyber transformers stand out from the rest. Stay ahead in shaping the future of cybersecurity by understanding these key traits. These are the top predictions for 2024 and beyond. This covers privacy rights, consolidations, zero trust, ransomware threats, weaponized OT, resilience, and board governance. Let's start to act now to tackle these threats to make a safer digital space to live in. Explore insights on a diverse range of threats shaping the digital landscape. From evolving cyber attacks to novel risks, stay informed to fortify your defense strategies with top 10 emerging threats for 2030. Uncovering cybersecurity challenges for Chief Information Security Officer, from isolated strategies to tech evolution. Gain insights into business-aligned programs, expanding security boundaries, organized attacks, and the shortage of skilled professionals. Stay ahead in navigating this complex landscape. Government, digital service providers, the general public, finance, and healthcare all face the impact of cybersecurity threats. The top 5 sectors affected, highlighting the critical need for robust protection in our interconnected world, are portrayed with the help of this pie chart. The cybersecurity market, valued at around $198 billion in 2021, is projected to exceed $600 billion by 2030. Fueled by escalating cyber threats, organizations worldwide are significantly increasing investments in advanced security solutions. This surge establishes cybersecurity as a pivotal and rapidly expanding industry, defining the digital landscape for the next decade.
Be with us as we answer the most asked question of ZERON. How do we integrate?
Go to the Others section, click on Management, and then navigate to Integrations tab. After that, click on the preferred integration, which can be configured either through API or syslog settings by providing the required credentials. Once the setup is done, go to Defense, Integration Dashboard, select the security solution that you just integrated. Observe the relevant KPIs and KRIs of all the integrated solutions in a single dashboard customized as per your organization's needs. ZERON also integrates with your organization's crown jewels or assets through an ultra-lightweight in-house agent called a Zensor. Go to Others, click on Management, and then navigate to the Sensors tab. Click on Add Sensor button and then click on Continue. Create or choose an endpoint group. Choose your operating system and architecture, and then click on Continue. Run the given CLI commands, and the Zensor installation will begin shortly. Once the Zensor is installed, click on the registered system in the table to get the relevant details of its network interfaces, network ports, network settings, packages, and processes. Navigate to the Defense module for host-wise detailed insights of the attacks, compliance, SysCAT audit score, risk count evolution, CIA triad percentage, vulnerable packages, and detailed overview of the identified risk.
This is Swarnali Shingho, co-founder and chief business officer at ZERON.
Hey everyone, this is Nehanjan Chatterjee, co-founder and CEO of ZERON.
I'm overwhelmed to see the response at 01/2023. We wanted to create the cyber awareness. And right now in this digital landscape, what matters the most? Your data. And you can secure that with cybersecurity. So cyber awareness is the first thing that should be there. And we are here to celebrate the cybersecurity today in this event. And we did that successfully. We had such an amazing discussion in the panel with Dr. Lopamudra, Dr. Santosh Iyer, and our founder, Mr. Sanket Sarkar. And also we discussed the various problem statements in the industry currently. And right now, we have concluded the celebration of cybersecurity at 01-2023.
What an event we had. However, cybersecurity is all about change. And that's what we hope to achieve in our next edition of 01-2024, where we would welcome newer challenges, newer ideas, newer problem statements, and newer threats. We would like to welcome more industry professionals, more hackers, more students, and the wider cybersecurity community. On that note, I would like to conclude today's event of 01-2023. I hope you enjoy.